could, they probably will, but they're not doing it now. There may be another football game, but they haven't told me about it.
Because I sent you something, you never responded. So.
Which I couldn't hear you. Well, maybe next month because I'm still here.
Yeah, would you tell her to come in?
Yeah.
The Truth with Gwen Azama-Edwards, every Thursday at 6:15 on Goliath Radio. Gwen Azama-Edwards, retired city clerk, former city commissioner, City of Daytona Beach. The Truth with Gwen Azama-Edwards on Goliath Radio.
Stan, you've been sitting much too long, much too long. Welcome, 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 welcome to Truth, a radio program designed with you in mind, a program whose sole purpose is to empower you, our listeners, for information leads to knowledge, and knowledge is power. And as always, we want to empower you to take control of your life, those things that impact you, your family, and your community. As always, too, we want you to go to the website at www.gwen-truth.com so you can access that all important information with that all empowering links that will make you what? All powerful. Shout out to all of you guys who voted Tuesday and prior to. Shout out to everyone who ran for office, because running is what makes you a winner. Winning is icing on the cake, but the fact that you ran, that you put yourself out there to provide service to your communities, be it city, county, state, nation, we thank you. We thank you for running. Amen. And we thank you for services rendered. Just putting issues out there sometimes is important. Whether you win or not, getting the issues out there, getting them to the eyes and the ears of those who end up getting elected and those who are the power brokers in our communities. It's important to get that done as well. So do pat yourselves on the back. Hopefully you ran a good campaign, meaning it was ethical, and you ran it in the right way. So thank you again to the candidates and to the voters. I want to also ask that you all go to the website www.gwen-truth.com so you can respond to the query that I have. I have replaced the other, and this query is asking if you believe that talk shows like the Truth Radio Show helps to provide you with useful information and to empower you. Would love your feedback, yes or no, on that query. The lady that I have with us tonight is an individual who has been on the show previously, but she has so much good information to share. And of course, it's about identity theft. And her name is Patricia Gaines. And she's an author, entrepreneur. She's an individual who has been there, done that. But her goal now is to empower people, to provide them with the information that they need so that they understand when it comes to identity theft, what it's all about. So you understand things that you can do, but especially understand and be in the right mindset as it relates to this. So I am so very happy and pleased to have Patricia here with us tonight. And I've asked her, welcome Patricia.
Thank you.
I've asked her to start off from the beginning kind of and share with you guys kind of how things started out with her as far as the identity theft that she was involved in. And it's identity theft and the mortgage that was tied to some of that. But I wanted to share as much of that as she feels comfortable in sharing. And then we're going to get into related things and issues that she feels is just so key and so important to all of you, because like myself, she wants to empower you guys to truly be in control and understand that that God is a major ingredient and a major player in all of that. Welcome, Patricia.
Thank you, Gwen. My identity theft began in 2008 or 9. I've almost forgotten the date, but it's vivid. The events that took place are still vivid in my mind. I lost my retirement. I lost equity in life insurance in my life insurance policies. They did everything they could to get my Social Security. I found that out when I wanted to sign up early for Social Security. In fact, they had a death certificate on me and was trying to collect as a spouse.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And there were just so many things in our family. Identity theft hits one person in the family, but its intent is to destroy the family as well as the person. And finding help when my identity theft occurred was not easy, because then a lot of people just didn't think it could ever happen to them. Well, neither did I.
Absolutely.
Until it did. My identity theft and my mortgage fraud were two separate cases. My identity was sold by a high-level employee of a financial institution, and so was my husband's, and so that's how we think it started. The case has been wrapped up since then, and in fact, we just wrapped it up last year. It's taken that long, yes. Though the one thing that people really need to do, we hear these plans out there that will protect your identity. I'm sure you get them through your emails. Your identity is all over the internet. Let us take it off. Well, folks, we can't take it off. It's impossible. They'll find it one way or the other. I just learned not too long ago that some major hospitals across the country had a problem, and I call them the phantoms because we can't see them. We just know they're there. They love to take our medical information. They love to take an example. We had to, when my husband died after the identity theft, we had to go to great lengths to be sure that they weren't using his identity. It affected our daughter, even though she was married and away from home at the time that it happened. It still affected her. It's just something that people think that, oh, it's never going to happen to me. We don't want to live in fear, but we want to be aware. We need awareness. We want to know that they're out there. They're next door to us. They're in the grocery store. They might be picking up our garbage. They might be our carpet cleaner. They're everywhere. And they fall into these groups so that they can get in our home or get to our information. Everything I do now, mostly financially, is on the internet. And people are shocked when I say that, but that's the safest place you can do it. The one thing that people don't want to do now is leave a paper trail. Even a magazine, if it comes to me and I didn't order it, I'll check into it. People just need to do that. Shred everything. Shred it. Don't ever put anything in the garbage can that has any information about you at all. I want folks to know that. You've got to be very, very careful. I would plead with you not to use debit cards in grocery stores or the big chains. because the phantoms of identity theft have little films and chips and things, and they can get your information that way. It's much better to go by the bank and get the money, or use a credit card. A credit card you can dispute. A debit card, when your money's gone, it's gone. I had a friend of mine not too long ago that called me devastated, and I have talked to him so much about protecting his identity. He had retired, he had $300,000 in the bank. Well, he got up one morning and it was all gone.
Wow.
No protection. And then came the credit cards. I know how that feels. That happened to me. It's real. One of the things that I would like to encourage all people to do is freeze your credit reports. Freeze your credit. In the fees in different states are different for the 3 credit bureaus. However, they're not that much. Which would we rather spend, $10 to freeze our credit, or have our accounts wiped out? Once they get our financial information, it's easy to get our medical information. A lot of people think, well, I'll go to the doctor and I'll put in my... No. Don't add your social security number. There's no need to do that. It's not necessary. The social security number is there just in case they have to collect money from you. And I would hope that people would be honest enough to want to pay the bills so that the bill collectors couldn't get it. Now let's just think about what I'm saying here. You go to the doctor, you fill out the forms, you put in your social security number, and let's say that you do have a major illness and something happened that you couldn't pay, but yet you didn't die. The medical community must send their collections to a collection agency. Those collection agencies, if there's anyone here that works with one, please forgive me, but they're heartless. And you don't know who they are. And you've got to be very careful when you do those kind of things. I guess the point I'm trying to get across is this. Stay aware. Stay aware. My identity my awareness started when I looked at my computers and I saw my bank account just deplete in just a matter of hours. It was gone. My case was, or our family's case, was sent to the fraud department of a particular bank, and I had a secret code. Well, the phantoms of identity theft had that same secret code. Where did they get it? We don't know. We just know that they have it. So we can't hide anymore. I heard some statistics the other day that said that Americans, the 2 biggest fears right now that Americans have is 1, computers, having their identity stolen from computers, and 2, credit cards. And rightly so. But I want to add, remember your medical records. Okay, remember your Social Security, your retirement, your life insurances, your annuities, your investments, all of it. You want to be aware. I prefer not to get anything in the mail about any of my financial work whatsoever. I have a lot of people that say to me, because I'm extremely visible on the internet, as you know, Gwen, LinkedIn, and I'll invite all of you to visit my LinkedIn, my Twitter, and my Facebook. Yes, I'm very visible and very transparent. Am I afraid? No. I've been there and done that. So I will know what to do when it happens, if it happens again. And I'm saying if, because I'm not immune anymore either. Another thing that we want to be absolutely sure that we do, and I see this happening to my neighbor, lock your doors when you leave your house. lock your car doors when you leave your car.
Even in the garage, lock your door.
Even in the garage, lock your door. And if you have children or grandchildren, even if they're very small, check your social security numbers often. These phantoms are ruthless. They have one intent. The phantoms of identity theft have one intent, and that is to destroy. They're evil. I truly believe that they're evil. And they know if they take our money, our retirement, they know they have us. And we are not that's not who we are. We're not our money. I was just telling Gwen, we're not our money, we're not our titles, we're not our college degrees. We are children of God. That is our true DNA. And when we remember that, and I will encourage listeners to do this. I have know some people here in our area, one in particular, a gentleman, very prominent, who had identity theft. And a year or so ago, I think it was. And yet, is afraid to go public with it. Don't be afraid. The only thing we really have to fear, to quote our President Roosevelt, is fear itself. Fear is an energy, and that's what these phantoms thrive on. They eat it, they drink it, they breathe it. Fear. And if they can put the fear in, then they know that we'll be so busy trying to work through the maze of identity theft that many of us will forget about God. We'll blame God. Why did you let this happen to me? How could this happen? I've worked in the church. I've worked hard all my life. I started work at 12 years old. My father taught me this. No, they know that. And what they will do is they will go to the core of who we are. And that's our souls. Because we don't want to give them our souls. We don't want to give them the pleasure of knowing that they have defeated us. Now, they had that pleasure with me. And I learned from it. It's okay for us to go through the valley of the shadow of death, but it's not okay to camp out there. God just doesn't want us camping there. And we need to just keep on climbing that mountain. It's never too late to start over. In fact, that's the name of my blog. A new start. It's never too late to start over. Many of my articles that I publish over the net are still about identity theft. The majority of them now I'm finding I'm moving toward hope, because without hope, we can't grow our faith. Without our faith, we can't keep our focus, which is what you mentioned a few minutes ago. We have to have an empowered mindset, and that mindset comes from our thoughts, which in turn create the emotional state we're in, and that helps to create our environment. So when you have identity theft and your thoughts are all about, I'm ruined, I've got to file bankruptcy, I'm going to lose my house, it has 3 fraudulent mortgages on it. What will people think? Well, it doesn't matter. Then's when you'll find out who your friends are. Okay? What matters is the fact that you'll get through it. You will get through it. And you'll come out a better person. I look at money much different than I did before. I don't need all those investments anymore. Yes, I'm rebuilding, but I'm not driven like I was before. And now, when the Holy Spirit speaks, Patricia listens. And that's another thing too, when you're going through the hell of identity theft, and that's the best way to put it, because that's where it is, when they take it all. Now, if it's a credit card here, or something that's only a couple $1,000s, you can usually get that worked out. But when they clean you, just totally clean you financially, and there's nothing left, okay, then it's when we need to take the time to become aware of what we're thinking. We need to take the time to look around us and see the beauty in the world, and I know it's difficult. A lot of things can take our identity. A long-term care illness, think about it. A lot of things can take our identity. We just want to make sure we know who we are. And we are grounded in who we are with Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And we listen to the Holy Spirit. Then we know we can get through anything. I can very well recall in my lifetime when I didn't listen to that gut feeling and I did what Patricia wanted to do, I made bad judgments.
Mm-hmm.
But when I listen and I pay attention now, then my judgments are okay. I'm really big into building relationships, and I have a website that's called Love-Based Relationships. Whether we're in the marketplace, or let's just say that we have a business, or we are an employee, we have an employer, we're in church, we're at school functions, regardless, our families, our friends, what we want to do is learn to look at other people with love that are in our circle of influence. When we do that, we'll find that the negative feelings and emotions and thoughts that we're having will evaporate way out into the ether. And it is difficult to do. I mean, there are people that we meet and we like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that we meet and we just don't click for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. What we need to do is learn to forgive ourselves first. And when we forgive ourselves first of everything,
Mm-hmm.
including being mad at God because I had identity theft, and pacing the floor and screaming and yelling at God and crying, how could you let this happen to me? I've worked all my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to forgive ourselves for those things. And when we forgive ourselves, then we're able to reach out to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And those of you out there that have any questions about identity theft, I'll be glad, more than happy to answer them for you if you want to contact me. If you've had identity theft and you just want to sit and talk, I will listen instead of talk.
Mm-hmm.
I will not give legal advice, you know, because I'm not an attorney.
Right.
And I don't give financial advice. But I will help you through that if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to thank Gwen again tonight for this because I've been not accepting some speaking engagements because I felt like I wasn't ready. But Gwen has always been so nice, and I've always felt very comfortable here that I'm ready for that now. And I will be glad to help anyone in any way I can. It is devastating,
Mm-hmm.
but you can get through it. Just hold on to the hope. And if you don't have the hope, hold on to somebody else's hope.
Mm-hmm.
Read the scriptures, especially the New Testament. There are words in there that will empower us and will give us the strength that we need to move forward in life.
Mm-hmm. And I think, Patricia, that people will need to understand that it took you a while to get to this point because initially you were, I won't say cursing God, but you were being pretty dramatic in terms of asking him why, because the other thing people need to understand is that this impacted not only your personal life and yours, your husband, as you said, your entire family, but it also impacted the business you had going at the time. Yes, and you had to get with your clients to let them know what was going on, and you know, people start to, when this happens to you, you know, you may blame God, but then you blame yourself how could I do this? How could I be so stupid? How could I? And then everybody else thinks it's your fault too, because you should not have allowed this to happen.
Exactly.
And it happens. It happens to a lot of people. People can thank God that it hasn't happened to them, but you know, sometimes you're just a piece of mail, personal mail away from being in the trash, or you know, or something, somebody sends you something over your computer and they're asking you to give certain personal information. I remember saying to a bank, I got something from you guys and you were asking for my this, that, and the other, and the bankers will tell you they will never send a request to get your information from you over the computer. And neither will they call you.
No.
Neither will they call you. Because number one, they already have it.
That's right.
Number two, what they don't have, they don't want to have because it's yours.
Right.
It's your personal information. So there are all kinds of gimmicks. There's this thing out there on the computer where it looks very official, looks like it's Homeland Security and the like, and they say pay X amount of money. Or we will, in fact, on The Good Wife, that was on there, and they paid $50,000 to get it stopped with all the people they had, goodness gracious. But I'm glad they had something like that on there because they were showing people that this is real. Viruses come about. That's why when you said you do all of your banking and everything on the internet, I'm sure people will say, yeah, but is that safe? Is that safe? Is that safe? So I'm glad to hear you say that it is one of the safest ways of doing that.
It is indeed, but then again,
Still
I've
gotta be
been
careful.
very fortunate because I didn't know how to protect my computer.
Mhm.
I do now. I know I can spot it.
Mhm.
I can spot the malware coming in, and once in a while, you know, it'll still hit me, but I get rid of it immediately. I mean, it's gone.
Mhm.
I can feel it.
Mhm.
My computer has become my best friend. The other day I got a cartoon. Be careful when you open photographs, cartoons, graphics in email, because those are the places that they like to put the malware. They like to put all of those nasties. Another thing, and this is very sad to say, but I feel that the Holy Spirit wants me to say this. They will use religious sites.
Mhm.
They love to do that. Let's remember who these people are. They're evil. They're not out there having a good time. Their intent is to destroy.
Mhm.
And be very careful when you go to any type of church site or religious site. Always check out websites. A lot of this is in my articles, and is also in a book that I'm getting ready to release again. Check out the websites. You want to be sure that you're going to the real website.
Mhm.
You also want to be sure if that website is legitimate, because a lot of times it's not, like you said. I subscribe to the FTC newsletter. I would encourage people to do that because we learn about the scams through that, and there are several different places that the government has that we can go and they'll inform us of the scams that are out there. But don't be afraid of your computer. And also smartphone. Take care of your, I have an Android. Take care of your Android. Take care of your iPhone. And now we have BlackBerry coming back. Take care of the BlackBerry. We need to protect our information. This is the information age. It's all about technology. And it seems that the phantoms of identity theft are always one step ahead.
Yes.
They can outthink. And their intent is to do it. But let's remember this. Their intent is not really to get the money. Their intent is to destroy who we are. And that's their prime focus. That's their mindset. They're not a bunch of teenage kids out having fun.
Mhm.
These are big players. I mean, we can see it happen. Look what happened with the Russian ring not too long ago. I mean, they're still out there. They couldn't catch them all. I mean, I could keep naming them.
Mhm.
Nigeria, you know, but we also don't wanna forget, they're right here in America.
Right.
We might still be the land of the free, but I would like to add, we want to be the land of the aware as well. And we want to always remember that this is God's country. This is special to him. The United States of America is very special to him. And we are so privileged to be here. And we're here at this time for a reason. And everyone has a story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We all have stories. I would encourage the listeners to do this. And this was my biggest fear. First time Gwen saw me, I had accepted one very, very small speaking engagement. And I was so filled with anger. I was so filled with all this negative. When I stood at the podium and I gave my story, I'm surprised people didn't leave there crying or they could even sleep that night, because I was devastated. But again, I would like to encourage the listeners to please have your life transparent. Now, we all know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but that's a different topic. That's not the topic we're talking about. So, we want to be transparent with ourselves and with our stories.
Mm-hmm.
I love to interview people and write their story. It's just remarkable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And many times they will ask me if I will not use their name. Well, of course I'll use a pseudonym, but it's still their story.
Right, right.
And their story can help someone else. I hope and pray that my story can help other people. I have about 7 pages of how to protect yourself with identity theft. I'll be glad to just give them to people if they want to contact me.
Mm-hmm.
Simple things, very simple things to do. Please do not write a check at the supermarket and give your driver's license and all of your check information. Please don't do that. Don't use your debit cards and put in a PIN number. Please don't do that. I mean, that's the easiest way they can find.
And places where I was gonna mention this before, but places where you get a debit card, they will tell you, you can use it as a credit card, use it as a credit card, not as a debit card.
That's exactly right. And if you don't know how to do that, ask the cashier, okay?
Mhm.
Which button do I punch for credit? And they'll tell you.
Mhm.
Yeah, don't.
Or
ever-
if you mistakenly did it, just have them cancel it out and they'll just re-ring it as a credit card purchase.
They will indeed, and I would encourage people, be very careful when you go to the ATM and take money out, because you don't know who was there before you. You don't know who's lurking in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
I have one article out called Jeremiah and the ATM Machine. It's a true story. He lost his business, he lost his family, his children lost their college educations, and this is only a 500-word article or less, but I got it all in there. Okay? And it was simply because he went to the ATM at a certain time, although that really doesn't play a factor in it. They could be there anytime, and it's so easy for them to get your information.
Yeah.
Another thing too, I know.
No, please.
Okay, do not pay for your gas with your card at the gas tank. Go inside and take the extra time, even if we're late for an appointment. Take that extra time and plan. Go inside and pay for it. Don't do it at the gas tank. They can get it from the gas tank exactly the way they can get it from the ATM machine. So there are just so many things, and I can hear the listeners saying, what else is she gonna say not to do? But if you protect yourself, I'm not gonna say you won't go through identity theft. I'm gonna say it'll make it a little bit harder for them to get it. And by the way, for $36, still today, they can buy your identity. Be careful, folks. Freeze your credit reports. Watch your medical records. Watch your prescription meds. Pay like with, with ISIS, we can't go around living in fear. It's the same principle, but we can take measures to protect ourselves and our family, especially our loved ones who have died and gone on to heaven, or our little children, grandchildren.
I know the other thing that because there, so many of these companies have had their information hacked over the past couple of years in particular, and they will tell you that even though the cards will be keeping an eye out, monitoring, they will tell you you need to monitor your accounts as well.
Exactly.
And even though they won't charge you for whatever, they say that that's if you find it timely and get back with them. So it's important that you do your part, your due diligence of checking your account. And I'm just as guilty as anybody else, I get so quick doing this, that, and the other. But one of the things that you're reminding us of, and that we need to remind ourselves of, is that we need to be careful. We live in an age where there is all of this electronic stuff that's good and easy and it makes life so much more comfortable. But it also makes it easier for people to steal your identification, to steal your information. And what you don't want to do is help the devil.
No, you don't want to help the devil. One thing about passwords, you just reminded me that I need to mention that. Please use a password that has symbols, upper and lowercase letters and numbers. And you're saying, oh, Patricia, I'll never remember it. No, you won't. But what you want to do is keep a log of them. And I do at my computers, and I keep a little notebook. Yes, I've gone back to the pen notebook. You don't want to put your passwords on the computer. Because there is a thing called shareware where they can just get right into your computer and see everything. So you just need to not put your passwords on the computer on a Word document because they can get it.
Now the computers and the iPhones in particular that say, do you want us to save your password? And I know that the banks will tell you, if you save in it, do not save ours.
Exactly.
So if you are saving some, don't save anything that's important, where you actually end up, it has money in it or it's something with your charge card attached to it or whatever. There are games you can play, but, be careful on what you do and how you do it. It makes it easier for others to get it. And there's, as you have said, Patricia, there's no foolproof method. We do have to take some responsibility.
It is our responsibility. After all, it's who we are. It's our DNA that we're protecting. Even though our money is not who we are, our titles, as I said earlier, that's not who we are. But when they take it all, it leaves us in a state of devastation. And even if we have the most faith and hope in the world, when it happens, like I didn't, I mean, I thought I did, but I didn't. Still yet, it's a devastating shock. Folks, I've been through the death of a spouse, and other deaths in my family. But I will say to you, identity theft is much the same way. Because it is a death of us as we were. And once we've had it, the way I had it, and a lot of people have now, I am not alone. There are millions of people that have gone through the same thing. Once we have that, we're never the same. I'm very fortunate in that I did turn to the Lord, and I did forgive myself, and I didn't have any reason to forgive myself, but I thought I did. That's the key. I thought I did. So our thoughts do become our emotions, and we need to be very careful about focused thoughts. I like to always say this to people: we can't worry about we will get out of the car and go inside to pay the gas. Okay? It's okay to use a card inside, just go inside and do it.
Right.
But instead of using the ATM machine, we'll go inside the bank. I know it seems like more work, but it's much better.
And what is that information you want to give the listeners as to how they can contact you?
Oh, okay. Well, they can find me on any of the most of the LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. They can do that. My phone number is my cell phone, 386-215-4997. Okay, now here again, because my phone number is all over the internet. Yes, I'm transparent. If I don't know the number, I'll let it go to voicemail, and then I'll listen, and then I'll call back.
Oh, okay.
So you have to protect yourself there. Now with a smartphone, we can make deposits. We can do everything with our smartphones. I want to urge the listeners to please protect your smartphone, just as you do your computer. Protect your iPads. Protect all your readers. All of it. If it's electronic, protect it.
And be sure to log out.
Oh, yes.
When you're done with everything, log out. That gives you added security so others can't come and pick up on your stuff. But I read that somewhere, and it's so key and important that you do log out. After you finish with your transactions, log out. That way it makes it difficult for somebody. Otherwise, if you haven't logged out, then they don't have to put anything in. All they do is just, get into your stuff. I will say that we do have a game that's coming on tonight. It's the football game for Bethune-Cookman University, and so we're finishing earlier. But what you have shared is just so important, Patricia, and I want to make sure that people follow through and follow up with you to get, if they have, as you said, if they have any questions, any current concerns, any issues. Because the other thing that I remember people saying about identity theft is that I couldn't get anybody to listen to me. People thought I was crazy. People thought, that, oh no, this can't be happening. Nobody would do this. You must have done something. It's your fault. I remember, I think it was a 60 Minutes show or something they did years ago about a lady who went through identity theft. I think she was in Atlanta. And it took her years and years. I don't know that she ever really got fully out of it. And as you said, yours started years ago. You just finished a part of it last year, but there's still some other stuff that's going on. So it's important for people to understand that it's real. There are things you can do to slow it down or make it difficult for someone to steal your identity, but it's nothing that's foolproof. And as you have said, understand that you're more than the material things. Anything else that you'd like to leave with the listeners as we prepare to go off the air?
Yes, change your passwords often. Okay, might have to buy 2-3 little notebooks. Don't put your passwords on the computer. I want to reiterate that. And I want to say thank you for having me. And I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas early.
I thank you, Patricia Raines, and I really wish you the best of success, and no matter what you do in the next season of your life, and as you continue to work with people and help people in terms of identity theft. We want to say to our listeners, remember to join us every Thursday starting at 6, we can say 6:15, but about 6:20. As we continue to discuss issues to inform and empower you, our listeners, be sure to go to the website, www.gwen-truth.com. Until next time, I'm still standing, Patricia's still standing, and she's saying that, have faith and hold on to your hope, because there is a brighter day. Be sure to get in touch with her with any questions that you have. We will be uploading this video on YouTube so you can get additional information. And until next time, be blessed and have a great weekend, have a great week. And for all of you, like Patricia, just have a great life, because your life is about more than material things. Praise God. You guys take care and be blessed.
The Truth with your host, Gwen Azama-Edwards, exclusively every Thursday night on WELE.